We're back, the four of us,
Yeah,
together again. And Diablo, who, if you
had to
attend
crash.
if you attend the K-drama chat, accidentally became a fifth Nuna due to a typo by yours truly this month. Hello, Mike. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And you will never live that one day.
Yeah. Diablo, normally he's not here for the live streams, but my husband is out running errands, and thus he is not. He cannot be trusted on the bed by himself with his tiny little bladder. Hey, buddy, I'm going to put you on your bed now. You've said hi to everyone. Hi. Hello. Okay. Hello, Frankie. Welcome. So we're here to have a fun, just chill.
And we welcome Jessie back.
Yay! She's half moved.
Yeah, half moved.
Yeah. You know, listen,
It'll happen one day.
We've
Yeah,
all moved.
That's a
Katie,
place to be, so
welcome.
that is good.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So we're having like a little. Okay, so we just had our like end of the year drama situation where we exposed our My Drama List stats for everyone, which is basically just like how much time we spend watching streaming television. And then we were like, you know what does an even better expose is Spotify Wrapped. So we we wanted, Frankie, I'm about to put your, I don't know if this is if this is positive encouragement or like a dire warning. Yikes. Nah, you'll get there. You listen, Frank, you've had medical stuff. It's fine. Fine. So we're gonna talk about music and the music that we like this year.
So the way you put it together, Natalia, did you make it to where people are gonna guess?
Yes. I've created a bit of a game where we all get to figure out whose stats are whose. And as the game continues, it becomes increasingly easier. Whose is whose, shall we say. And these are not, I put them in random order every time. So it's not like you can catch on
person A.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It'll
okay.
be funny if there's like ones that like all of us kind of did or like multiples of us.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay. The first one is a little wild. Okay. Let's go. So we have how many minutes that we listened to music this year? So one of us listened to 37,120 minutes. Someone else listened to 38,406 minutes.
Those are pretty close numbers.
Yeah, those are very close numbers. Someone listened to a very chill 5,356 minutes. I sense maybe someone watches more music videos than they stream Spotify regularly, if I were to guess about this particular number. And someone listened to 20,781 minutes. I have my answer key here.
So feel free to guess anybody in the chat.
Yes, feel free. I feel like, with one exception, though, the real outlier, I feel like maybe other people haven't memorized their numbers, but who do you think?
I can look.
Don't look. It's more fun if we also don't remember.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I could see a couple of different reasons for the 5,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it could be like you said, the YouTube, the video watching.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that one of us dumped Spotify and, took off mid-year or something and went to like Amazon Music or YouTube Music or something and went old school and just listened to CDs all the time. I don't know.
One of us primarily uses the certified Noonas account.
That's true.
Also possible,
My husband actually asked me about a week or so ago. We were talking about K-pop albums, and he asked me like, "Have I ever actually played any of the CDs?" And now I will say, my laptop prior to the one I'm using right now, it did have it had an easy CD drive. It was old enough that it could just But I'm like, no, I have, like, I don't even have. He's like, and I told him there's that not too expensive thing, CD player that it just spin, you know,
Yeah.
you spin. I was like, maybe I'll get that. Somebody's like, you should play your CDs. I'm like, okay.
I used to always play my 2 p.m. CDs in the car because I had the like one of those 5-disc ones. So I just like fed in 5, and then it was just always what I kept on all the time because before I didn't have like unlimited data, so it couldn't always be streaming my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
It just
my van has a thing where I can put the CDs in and it scans it into the memory in the van.
That's nice.
So I have like
that before.
50 different CDs in there. So that's the first thing I do with my K-pop ones. When I get them, I take them out to the van and scan them in, and then I bring them back and like put them on the shelf.
Is that called something in particular? Okay, I've never.
It's like iTunes, you know, you just like upload onto iTunes.
Like my parents would love that if I knew what that was. Like, they'd be like, yeah.
It just came with the van. It was just there. So
I guess it's time to do we want to give our guesses? I know mine.
So do I. I know which one.
No, between 2 of them. I kind of remember.
I feel like the 37 and the 38 are Natalia and Sky, but I don't know.
Okay, no.
Shall I reveal?
Reveal, Sky.
I will reveal that I was the 5,000.
She was. She was. It was the 5,056.
I literally don't know how that. It probably does have to be like YouTube music videos,
something. Yeah,
probably.
Or this could also be a thing. Do you and Eric have a family plan?
Yes.
Okay, because sometimes when Matthew's listening to music on the Google Home, it'll be on my account. So it is possible that you've been listening on his account.
You should look at his Spotify Wrapped.
I will say, we don't use the Google Home for that.
Okay.
So like,
anyway,
and I will say, I did realize I went on 2 very long road trips this fall, and we did not listen to like a stitch of music either time. We talked the entire time, so that's why it was nice talk for the record.
Yeah, it's nice, like, you know.
Yeah, usually, typically, I would have played a lot of music for like days and days and days. So I really do think though it was probably music videos.
In third place with 20,781 minutes is Amanda. Nice.
I listened to a lot of audiobooks this year, so.
And in second place is me with 37,120, and in first place is Jessie with 38,406.
And I really didn't finish listening on music. Like I pretty much stopped listening to music on Spotify in July. So what if I hadn't?
Yeah.
Wow.
The magic that could have been. All right. Next up, on our Spotify expose, we have our top genres.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this gets a little trickier.
I know mine.
Okay, so we're seeing we're seeing some similarities for the top genre.
Number one.
Shocking.
Weird.
I think if you knew each of us, you would be able to pick.
I feel like the second one.
Yeah, just go to the second one. You can figure out.
Yeah. I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but
let's see. I'm going to admit I do not know what Alt Z is. What is Alt Z?
Listen, no one knows.
I'm going to
find out
this now.
No one knows what Alt Z is. That's part of the fun.
It's kind of pop, kind of not, kind of sad, kind of upbeat. Okay.
All right.
What's
Alt Z?
Dance electronic.
What is a dance electronic? Escape room music?
Yeah.
So it's kind of pop, kind of not. Kind of sad, kind of upbeat. It's ethereal without being a ballad. Rhythmic without being a bop. Who sounds like that's what they listen to?
I love
is
it.
the real question.
Alt-Z is one of many genres shown on Spotify Wrapped 2022, but many users aren't sure what it means.
It means
Legit.
everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
So we've got Korean R&B that's showing up. Uh,
So one of us is really into Korean stuff.
Yeah. We got K-pop, idol rock, Korean pop, Korean punk, and then metalcore, which is the greatest name for a genre I've ever heard in my life. We have K-pop, alternative metal, modern rock, J-pop, and dance pop, and then K-pop, pop, the aforementioned alt-Z, indie pop, and modern rock.
I will say, just because I know a little bit of what mine is, I feel like the person number 2 and person number 3, if you flipped them,
it would make a little more sense.
It still would make
yeah, it would still be fine.
Yeah, it'd still be fine.
Yeah,
it's almost like I would have maybe guessed one way or another.
But I wonder who those two people can be.
I have to laugh at Mike guessing that Natalia is person number 1 because I'm guessing that he does not know what CCM stands for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with he also doesn't know what CCM stands for because no one would guess it was me if they did.
Right, exactly.
I think the second one is the pure giveaway on who it is. I guess.
Yeah, that is true.
Like the K-pop one, it's like whatever. Like obviously we listen to it the most, and we do deep dives that require us to listen to music, and we usually use our Spotify for that. But like the second one, I think is like maybe our true like number.
That's true.
Yeah.
What main vibe are you going for? That.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
All right, shall we reveal who is who? All right, slide 1. Option 1 is Amanda. CCM stands for Christian music, which means definitely
Christian music.
not Natalia. Slide number 2, Sky.
That's what
Sky
I guess.
loves metalcore. Who knew? Third one, Mike, look into your heart. By the way, keep this energy going because that statement will come back as a joke later in this.
I would just like to say
slideshow.
that my kids, we do use our Google Hub a lot for our Spotify and our music, and it refuses to acknowledge my youngest child as himself. So it's always either me or my daughter, and they listen to a lot of CCM in the morning. So like it always winds up on my account.
Yeah,
so,
it happens.
Also, my second song is on my top songs is completely them. So excuse a little.
They infiltrated.
Yeah.
So option number 3 is Jesse and the alt-Z fanatic. It was me. Listen, I didn't know I was, but it turns out I was all along.
I would say for Natalia, I would have guessed that like indie pop would have been like number 2. Like I would have put indie pop,
especially knowing your like main playlist.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess I don't know what like Spotify puts those genres in.
That's true.
They definitely like I knew Sky and I's for sure.
So what cracked me up
flip.
about metalcore? Maybe 2 different bands, and that's it. Like
I think it is.
At least Okunaru, like
I think that's what it's picking up.
And I feel
they're metalcore. I'm like,
what I know that you listen to, but yeah.
And I feel like the difference between pop and indie pop is real nebulous these days. And I just want to put out, I don't actually like modern rock. That's my husband's accidentally.
I think
nary a modern rock song to be found on old Natalia's playlist.
The only one on my list, I think that like there must be some Day 6 and Dreamcatcher songs
that's
dance
true
pop that like think it's dance pop because I can't think of any other songs that I would listen to.
Yeah, I would say some.
Yeah, it has to be like it's picking up from like B-sides.
Would any 2 p.m.
I guess maybe 2 p.m. It usually picks up an R&B on 2 p.m.
True.
That's right.
All right. Next up, We have our daily vibes. This was such a weird addition.
Definitely don't remember mine.
I liked it, but it was so weird. Like,
So
I think it's funny.
Oh, so yeah, I remember mine now.
I was looking at it.
You can figure out mine.
Don't worry.
I
remember.
What I'm going to say about I'm not even pointing anyone out. I'm going to just point out number 3 and why it's just so abbreviated compared to the other
everyone else.
Spotify for this person was
everybody else gets like multiple.
They're just other words. Very simple, very obvious,
very straightforward.
It's been so descriptive for everybody else making up all this
Royal
crap.
Court, Victorian creative.
Like, what is that?
What I love about all of these is that a lot of these, none of this makes sense together. But anyway, the first person, their mornings, they have a fancy Hallyu comforting vibe to them. And then in their afternoons, they love a good cheerful Hallyu vibe. The Hallyu, it's still there. So this is the K-pop coming in.
So yeah, maybe and then a lot.
At nights they have Royal Court, whatever the fuck that is, Victorian and creative vibes.
At night they become
vampires.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, become very like rich and like
fancy. The second person's a confident, hopeless romantic in the mornings.
Romantic ... makes you wonder, was it gonna be romantical?
Who knows?
Like, is it gonna say something more?
There was they wanted to keep going, but they were like, no, we should stop here. We want to leave them, we want to let them keep guessing. So in the afternoons, they're rebellious, they feel good, they're amped up. In the nights, they're dramatic. They're Hallyu-esque, which Hallyu isn't an adjective, but I digress. They're also comforting.
Part of this Spotify now, though. How crazy is it that we're here?
That is true.
Like all the Korean stuff has infiltrated.
Mm-hmm.
So the third person, they have spooky mornings. It's a little spooky time. They pull out their crystals to get mystical in the afternoons, and they're sad and angsty at night. Aren't we all?
Angsty sad times.
And the last person, they have healing, fancy, and comforting mornings. That sounds nice. They have confident, bittersweet, and cathartic afternoons. Maybe not so nice. And then, they're just having a quiet, mellow, fun time in the evening. Like
chill.
They're just having a good time.
Bopping your head, but not going too fast.
Who could it be?
Who could be?
Who could be? One of these is pretty obvious.
It is very obvious.
One of these three may have given themselves away. Any guesses in chat? Whose might belong to who?
I will say, I think this graphic, like with the clouds and stuff, I think
it's cute.
It's very cute. It was very. This year's was so much better than last year.
Yeah, I didn't love the color scheme
of like the final slide.
Just all of it. I felt it was a little. I don't know, but
I'm just saying nice. I like this slide in particular because the way
it looks festive and fun. Well, who wants to claim? One?
I'll take myself out of the running because the other ones seem. I'm obviously the spooky one.
Yeah, just spooky and mystical. Real witch vibes with Jessie.
Yeah.
No, Jessie's number 3, but nice try. I will say that mine makes absolutely no sense if you know me as a person.
So you're number 1, the Royal Court Victorian?
No, that would make more sense. I'm gonna be real. That would
I put on my tiara at night, don't you know?
It's so comfortable.
If I were to pick one that I would think was me, it would be number 1, but number 1, not me.
So I'm trying to think are you saying number 2 doesn't make sense for you? Is that
I don't think it does. Okay. I do have kind of hopeless mornings. So number 2 is me.
What is dramatic Hallyu comforting?
I don't I don't know. Like sometimes I get sad and listen to like
Is it like mellow?
sad
but there is
K-pop
quiet
ballads,
mellow
but like I don't know. I don't know.
wonder.
I don't know. So are you curious? Sky is
Oh,
go.
I was gonna ask: is Amanda healing, fancy, comforting in the morning?
She is,
I can
and you're
see that.
fancy and Hallyu and comforting. Very
I know,
close
I'm like-
by.
That is close.
You can be comforting in the mornings.
I have no freaking clue what Royal Core Victorian Creative.
I don't know what that
Listening
means.
to at night. I want
But
to
see,
know
here's the
Nothing-
thing. I listen to a lot of like string covers, like string covers of pop songs. So that would actually make a little more sense
That
for
would make
me.
sense for you.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's not me. That's not me.
I
Did
don't
you go
change.
through
The
a
thing is, I
phase?
don't change what I listen to based on time of day. Like
I don't either.
ever.
Me neither.
So,
like
Not
it
really.
probably the thing that does like differentiates time is when I turn it on. Like I feel like Spotify
Right.
gets turned on at the same time or whatever.
Mhm.
but I can't think of a single thing that would be like, oh, that's Royal Core Victorian. I mean, it's possible. It is okay. Oh! I remember. I remember.
It's
I
coming back
did-
to you. It's coming
Yes,
back
yes,
to you now.
I did read like a Jane Austen era book or two this year. And during
do.
that, I played a
Oh.
random playlist of somebody's.
That could have
had
helped,
all of
especially
those
if your
in it.
minutes were so long or so short. Like it was a good percentage.
You know what?
Okay.
It's all
That's
making sense.
Because I was like, I couldn't remember, but I did.
But how
I
great
kind
was
of
that
did a
playlist that it
soundtrack
picked it
for
up?
what I was reading for a little bit.
Okay.
Was it a good playlist?
It was okay. It had a lot of the like Pride and Prejudice type stuff on it. I mean,
Nice.
it was a good book too. I'll have to go look up the title. A trans main character, really
Ooh,
cool for that
fun.
like, era. It was nice.
So we got some personalities. Two people have very similar personalities here.
Mhm.
In fact, two people have identical
they're
personalities.
identical.
Yeah.
That's fun that like
Now, if you know about this podcast, you can probably figure out who those two people are.
I'm like trying to figure out like why they like, you know, three of them are pink and then one of them's green.
That's true
Right?
too.
Like, is that part of it?
No,
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference? So
it's not. I just
no, they all
No.
end in you. The last
Three of
the
them are
pink ones
envy
N,
you.
and well, that's N two. Shoot, envy you.
Yeah.
That's
LU.
weird.
Yeah, like the thing that's different is not, it's also different in something like, if I were going to pick one to be different, it would be the DOT because it's the only one that has an L in it.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
I'm gonna be honest. The difference was due to the phone that was used to
Oh.
download the
Interesting.
image. It had nothing to do with the actual
Okay.
graphic.
That's
Just
interesting.
Putting this out there, I was.
But we shouldn't be thinking that hard about that.
No, you're really analyzing a little too deep into this
hilarious.
It's a drastic change, so like you have to see it. Like it's like
Mhm.
all same and then green.
It was because the formatting was different, and so I had to format it down into the same size. And when the certain phone took it, the
That's
colors
fine.
was different, so I had to change the color of the square. Otherwise, it would have been pink.
It looks
Listen.
lovely. It
Thank
looks
you.
lovely.
Yeah, definitely.
No, everyone thought it was on like Spotify was playing games, but no, it was just Natalia.
Because
Making
Spotify is
things
always
fit.
playing games.
That's
That's,
true,
why.
like-
Okay, well, the jig is up. Jesse and I are the adventurer. We have very similar tastes in most of the media we consume.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be real. So we have a specialist who sticks with very selective artists, and a devotee who really sticks with selective. Like they're sort of very similar,
Yeah, they
right?
are.
Yeah.
I will say It's easier to be a devotee if you listen to less minutes. Just putting that out there.
You might be correct. So yes, the devotee is Sky, and Amanda is a specialist. Moving on. We got our top songs.
I wonder. I think this one is actually like pretty easy to figure out for all.
I feel like if you've ever listened to anything we've ever talked about,
if you've ever watched a.
Also, if you're curious about what Alt Z is, one of these songs will tell you the answer to that. So remember,
Mike, Natalia can
oh my God,
Mike, listen, I'm not gonna tell you to go listen to the song, but if you go listen to the song, yeah.
I like that we have one person in February and then everybody else was like, March, that's my time.
Listen, that song just hit different. Like, as soon as it hit, like... Also, I just love her. Like, okay, yeah. Okay,
yeah.
The anti-religion song is me. Shocker.
But also, what the crap was going on in March for their other three?
I know it was going on in March for me.
But like, as far as like why it was like March.
Why was it all March?
Yeah. So I just want to track everyone's attention to the amount of total streams and the differing that happens.
I'm sure I listened to mine way more than that stream count. But then again, okay, I might have listened to it on YouTube.
Well, I was thinking that I listened to mine a lot more than that, but it's one that I put into the car, and I listened to it a lot in the car. So,
I mean, you should really be able to guess mine, like really.
Yeah, like
I don't know what it could be.
Look at what. So Katie's guess here.
Katie's guess. You're close. You're 50% correct. However, while this seems like it would be contemporary Christian music,
it is not.
It is not Christian contemporary music.
No.
It is very much the opposite of that. It is a really lovely pop song about religious trauma. So not quite. Great song though. So yes, it does go Jesse, Natalia, Sky, and Amanda. So that is that. I think next time this next one, it's in the same order because obviously
we can't
obvious once you've done the first.
Yeah.
So
these are our top 5 songs. So no surprises on Jesse's. We got Finale by Day 6, Deja Vu by Dreamcatcher, Because by Dreamcatcher, Chase Me by Dreamcatcher, and Lullaby by Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
The Dreamcatcher
Jesse,
playlist.
do you like Dreamcatcher?
Kinda.
Yeah,
Just a little.
You might have. I get a little more varied in vibe and also group.
Natalia actually goes out of.
I go wild. I go hog wild in my music listening. So we have God's a Freak by Peach PRC. That's What I Want by Lil Nas X. Great song, man. Even my mom likes this song. What a bop. One Day by Monsta X. That's what I listen to when I'm sad.
Finale is my sad day.
Yeah, Unthinkable by FT Island. That's also what I listen to when I'm sad. And then Lavender Forever by Jake Wesley Rogers, which is a bop. If you haven't listened to it, it is so good. For Sky, we have Epitaph for the Future by TVXQ. Exclamation point. The exclamation point, very important. The Game by Pentagon, Feeling Like by Pentagon. I'm sensing we might know who your top artist could be. Who by Moonbin and Sana from Astro, and Like Snow White from TVXQ. Exclamation point.
So I'm gonna say with like 1 and 5 and 2 and 3, I just listen to those entire albums. Like that's the way I do it. So And that's honestly the way a lot of my top songs did. It's because I just listened.
Yeah.
So it's just a mismatch of obviously you listen to these albums, and we're just going to mix them
Yeah.
up. So.
We were talking about this a little earlier when we were like giving all of our images to Natalia, but a lot of the times our songs are picked because Spotify, when they're just randomly choosing them, they keep choosing the same one. So it's like the first one in the playlist. So then it always gets played. Because like I don't think Lullaby would ever make my top 5 if I was going through.
My thing is I have this like really long playlist that I play when I'm working, and it's just like because I know all the songs on it that I don't get distracted by the lyrics. And so my like top 2022 is literally just that playlist.
That's how it is with mine. It's just Dreamcatcher because it's all my
plus Monsta X's English discography. That's the whole playlist. Like that's the entirety. And okay, finish off Amanda. We got Vibes by Jackson Wang. We got House of Memories by Panic at the Disco, which she says she doesn't listen to.
I mean, I listen to it because it's a good song. It's just not in any of my playlists anywhere. So
it's not something
it is now.
Like this is
it all the time without you knowing.
This is the first year that Panic at the Disco did not make it into my Spotify.
Yeah.
So, then we got Poison by Jackson Wang, Devil by Max Chengman, and I don't have it by Jackson Wang. Big Jackson Wang.
I like that. It,
and that's the same as like
with Jackson.
Yeah, like with Sky, it's the same as with Sky. Like I listened to that album a lot, but Poison and I don't have it are not my favorite song.
Yeah, like we're on that album,
they're
so
not,
they got in.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm curious if my kids weren't hijacking number 2, if like I have a really strong feeling that number 6 is like Salt and Pepper or something, because I listened to so much like.
Have you not looked on the playlist
stuff? I haven't, because it was on my phone and it was kind of a weird.
Oh.
I don't pay for Spotify now, so like it's
true.
I have to like go in through the computer but so I'm surprised because I played that playlist a lot this summer for it to not show up.
Les Shock, who is this?
So this is gonna be a tough one.
I guess don't worry if you don't get this right.
Yeah, don't stress. So one person's top artists were Pentagon, TVXQ, and Flying ATs and Astro. Mystery.
I have no idea who.
Another person's top artists were Dreamcatcher, J6, Brown Eyed Girls, 2 PM, and Stray Kids.
Mystery.
Some of those, a little bit of a con, and we'll tell you why. Next person's was Stray Kids, Monsta X, Florence and the Machine, Cloudy June, and 17. Wonder who that could have been. And then finally, Jackson Wang, A-Pink, Brown Eyed Girls, ATs, and Max Chengman. I just want to point out that Jesse's number 5 artist is not Stray Kids.
It's okay.
Stray Kids, my number
is definitely not my top 5.
My number 2 is definitely also not A-Pink, but like,
however,
we
did deep dives, which means we listened to them a lot, and so everyone listened to Stray Kids for me. So
I'm trying to think if there was a time that like I put Stray Kids in a playlist and just like let it go for like I slept with it, because I'm just trying to think of how it calculated it, or I just really just didn't listen to a lot of other things at that level. But
I feel like A-Pink showed up in mine because we did the deep dive, but also I wasn't really familiar with any of their music before it. So it wasn't like sometimes when we do a deep dive, I'm like, okay, yeah, like I've already listened to these albums and I already know what my favorite songs are. So I'm not going back to revisit it right now. But A-Pink, I had nothing. So it was sort of like I had to listen to everything to,
but
mine just makes sense. Like
yours and Sky's are very clear.
Nope. Please, nobody go tell Astro that they are no longer the
Don't show them this.
Like, this is the first year that both EXO and Panic at the Disco haven't been in my top 5, but EXO haven't done anything. So I still listen to that. I still love EXO. It's just
I feel bad that DPR Ian's not in my top 5 this year. Like he was at the top last year,
Well,
and he released music.
He doesn't
I
have
still-
as many songs as the other people. They get a,
True.
guess I get a chance, which maybe that's what it is with Stray Kids. Because when we do deep dives, I usually like listen to it at least once if I have time. Except for, I will say, with the Brown Eyed Girls, that was my pick. And I listened. I'm surprised they're not number one because I did listen to all of their music probably about 20 times each. Like, so I don't know how that would show up on my.
Yeah, I spent all my time watching their music
at least
videos.
didn't knock the Stray Kids out.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
constantly listening to them, like constantly, because I mean, I like them. I definitely like in a world it could be top 5, but probably wouldn't have been picked. But like, I still listen. I know I listen to them a lot because I also started preparing for that episode well before we even did stuff.
When was that? So because it would have been your
That was in
pick.
March.
It was in March. And so I started like listening to them probably in like January because I think I picked it by the end of the previous
And that's
year.
isn't January kind of when it starts doing like the data?
I think
like
so.
wrapped.
Yeah, maybe that's what it like hit on that.
Yeah,
But I
like,
mean, there
wonder...
were like some songs from Brown Eyed Girls I was listening to constantly, so I don't understand how they didn't show up. Like, I feel like there was some that probably hit more than the 20 finale streams, but who knows?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised Twice didn't make my list because when I babysit, that's all we listen to. Because the girl downstairs, she's become a little bit of a once. I've
Nice.
The joke is, I was like introducing her to various K-pop groups, and she saw 17, and she said, "No, it's too many boys.
That's too much.
It's too many boys."
You know what? Understandable.
Understandable. And then I played Twice, and she was like,
She was
like eyes
just
was
the
just like,
girls.
what is this? What is this magic? So,
Praise.
but yeah, I was surprised that I listened to Cloudy June as much as I did, and then I was like, wait.
I hope that wasn't Diablo.
Did you just like ram into something?
What the hell that was?
Okay, good.
I literally have no idea what that was. That was so weird.
Maybe it's just something shifting.
The kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yay. But anyway, yeah, that's it. Those are Spotify.
That was our Spotify wrap.
Those are Spotify wrap that we wanted to, expose with y'all. But no real surprises.
Feel free to share your own Spotify wrapped information.
Yeah. Like, what are some of your top?
I was really shocked that I didn't get more listening time, so I don't really know.
That is really weird
about that, actually. But
I listen to a lot more podcasts, a lot more, which I did find out the number. Like, it's pretty much the same amount of minutes as my music. Because I would play when I first got here, I had a really long commute for the first like month or two. So I was just constantly playing podcasts in the car. And then I was doing some like organizing stuff and then podcasts to get me through organizing. So it'd be like 8-hour chunks of podcasts.
Yeah, the only podcasts I listen to, they're like visual podcasts. Like I watch them on YouTube, so I don't really listen to any podcasts except for Welcome to Night Vale, which I do listen to when I'm in the shower for like a real esoteric.
Yeah.
Welcome to Night Vale. I restarted Welcome to Night Vale, and then I started listening to the horror podcast that they do.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah. What they do is they kind of recap the movie. So they do spoilers on the movie, but it's kind of done in a way that they're trying to tell if like a scared person would be okay with it. And they give kind of like a final thing.
Bye, Frankie. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Yeah, I listen to like my favorite podcast isn't really a podcast, but it's a podcast. It's this British couple named Sam and Elise, and they do this podcast called The Tea Review, where it's like the initial idea was to set out to like review tea. Very British, right? But it very quickly devolves into just absolute chaos with them just like getting just really incensed about the state of the world. I think I was quoting what he was saying about Elon Musk to you the other day, Sky, because I was laughing so hard. He's like, I never want to hear about this fucker ever again. Never. He's out of, and then they open Magic the Gathering cards. That's like their whole podcast. And it's like, it is supremely funny in a, if you know, left-wing British people sort of way. So like, if you don't like swearing and a couple being jokingly mean to each other, or Magic the Gathering, if you like really hate Magic the Gathering cards,
not so much.
I hate those things so much.
No, might not
I'm
be
going to
the...
admit I know next to nothing about Magic the Gathering.
I also know next to nothing about Magic the Gathering cards, but I love seeing people do things that they really love.
Yeah.
And so even if I'm not into it, I love watching them be into it. And they never show their faces. You just see their cups of tea. Like they film it so that it's filming their counter. And then they have the cups of tea on their kitchen counter. And so you'll just see like their hands and then them constantly fighting with like the focus on the camera because they don't edit anything. Like it's a mess.
Magic the Gathering, like, I understand it's a collecting card situation.
Yeah, it's like a
But I
game.
wonder how
game.
you like play. I don't know. I've always wondered
play?
like the actual game.
Like
part of it.
it's like a role-playing game where like things get like points and stuff. So like when
Yeah,
you
it's sort of
have
like
attacks, they're
yeah, it's sort of
given
like
a certain
Yu-Gi-Oh! And
amount of
Pokemon. Like it's
Yeah,
the same
if you've
sort
ever-
of.
So is it like your weaponry? Like it's pretty much like your items. Is that the main thing you're collecting?
No. You have like their monsters and stuff.
Yeah,
and
there's
then you have to
sort of
like, and
things-
then
it's
or
powers.
things happen, or
and then
you
you
have
can
to
like
what
go
you're
get
down.
doing.
your yeah.
I see. So it's
Have you
like,
ever seen an
oh,
episode of Yu-Gi-Oh?
No.
Never mind, then I cannot really help explain it because just literally any episode of the original
I guess you
Yu-Gi-Oh.
could like explain it as Dungeons and Dragons, except you don't
No dice.
produce the lore as well.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
just the
Like, it's
card
given to
itself gives
you.
the situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
Okay.
it has points, and then like sometimes like different cards do different things to different people.
Yeah, they'll have
So,
like
it
different
could like help someone else.
spells and
It would
stuff,
hurt
yeah.
another person, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So it's
very
kind of like the
complicated.
circumstance as well as the spell. Like that's the,
Yeah.
it sounds very lots going on.
It sounds
It is.
fun, but
There's
like I feel like I
thousands
would
of
be so
cards, too.
confused.
Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Same.
I'd just be confused. Be like,
Like
"Oh."
Munchkin confused me when I first started playing. So like I don't
I
know.
played one version of that before, and that was it.
I
Was
love
the,
Munchkin though. I own
They
like
used to play
9 versions
almost
of it.
every lunch break.
I
at
used to
my old
play
job.
it so much when I had friends, in-person friends. I still have friends. We just
Or not in
Aren't-
don't
person.
see each other in person. But I love Munchkin. Oh, I love board games. I love board games.
I love board
Me
games,
too.
what
Yeah.
were you gonna say? You're
I-
sad
I
not
miss
to do board
I
games.
miss
We need
being
to-
able to play board
We
games.
were
with
gonna do it. We
people.
never did it. The like online stuff.
Yeah, we should. We should.
we
I
should
still
figure it out.
say online Uno would be such a vibe.
It would be so funny.
It would be such a vibe. That's the other. I also like watching people play Uno
Mhm.
online.
Mhm,
And Minecraft.
The friendship breaking, just
So good.
absolute chaos.
I will say you put up Katie's playlist there.
I
of the
did,
top
yeah.
5,
Mhm.
and it felt very similar to Sky. Like
It's
Yeah.
like if
Clearly
Sky and
they
I had
hang
a
out-
baby.
Yeah.
they
it
sit
would
at
be
the same
Katie.
table, right?
Mhm.
Like
We could all have
we
a
talk
road
about
trip.
our people.
Yeah, like I feel like if Sky, Katie, and I were in a car, we would have no problem sharing the aux cable. You know, like
Or just like any Katie
Well,
and I, it's like,
I'm-
oh, Pentagon's doing something. We're talking to each other about whatever thing Pentagon's doing.
I like all music, so it's
Yeah.
I don't mind listening to anyone's music. I'm real chill. Just like my drama watching, I listen to anything.
So, do you listen to some things that you would say aren't that great? Because you'll say that about your drama stuff. That's the only reason why. you say
Now, it's a lot harder
that.
to objectively, like, it's pretty easy to watch a drama and be like, this is
Not
not
recommendable.
great. But like, it's a little harder because like music I find is a lot more subjective than
Yeah, and you only have like what 4 minutes with
Dramas.
it. Like it
Yeah.
really
yeah,
goes
and
away.
like things that like I personally might think is like could be argued as being fantastic. So, but you're also talking to someone who's a huge Lemon Demon fan. So if you've ever listened to Lemon Demon,
you're gonna have to describe what Lemon Demon is.
Lemon Demon is a man. He's a dude. Do you know?
He's a man.
Do you know Potter Puppet Pals?
No,
I think so. Yeah,
that was him. But he makes very nerdy music. We played a Lemon Demon song at our wedding called Geeks in Love. He makes very nerdy, just single man, very nerdy stuff. I don't even know if he's on Spotify, but
he's got to be on YouTube. YouTube was the
he's on Spotify. He's on Spotify.
Renaissance of that, like Hank Green and all them started doing like Harry Potter stuff in the very beginning.
Not only is he on Spotify, I've apparently liked 75 of his songs on Spotify.
And you're like, is he on Spotify?
Yeah. I'm terrible at liking things. I just don't do it. I should.
Well, it used to be nice when I had Spotify, because if you like stuff, you could go in and then they would just create a playlist. You could just download your Jackson Wang playlist, and it would just be every song by Jackson Wang that you'd given the thumbs up to or the heart or whatever. Now you got to play. Now that I'm not paying for it, I can't access any of those playlists.
Oh man, I can't I can't give up my page now. I'm
YouTube and Spotify. You'll take from my dead.
I know.
No, I kept.
It's been rough. We'll see. We'll see how long it lasts.
Listen, you can pry my YouTube Premium.
Oh my gosh.
Out of my corpse after you murder me.
Okay,
every single time I go into the certified Noonas YouTube,
and there's an ad. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck.
Like I can't. I will be like making a playlist for one of our deep dives, and I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. And especially because with the YouTube Premium, if you go between YouTube like premiums, you can just give that playlist. You don't have to sit there and like make a new one. Like you can just like give it all. Like. Why are you doing this to me?
That said, if you don't have YouTube Premium, we highly recommend it.
Oh God, no,
not sponsored.
So I watch so much YouTube, right? Like I watch a disgusting amount of YouTube, and so I just watch it like casually, like in bed while Matthew's sitting next to me. And then one day, like he just passively watches it. And one day we were like chatting with some friends about streaming services. I'm like, oh yeah, like I have YouTube because I pay for all the streaming services, like. That's my job in this house. That's what I'm responsible for with my unemployment. So I don't get unemployment. I do commissions. I do painting commissions. That's how I pay for anyway. Irrelevant. And I was like, oh yeah, like I have YouTube Premium, and everyone's like, oh, is that great? I'm like, oh, it's the best. And Matthew's like, wait, you have YouTube Premium? And I'm like, yeah, for like 3 years now. And he's like, no wonder you never see any ads. He's like, I just realized this.
Oh my
gosh. I used a little bit of YouTube Music. I don't like it as much as Spotify.
I don't like it, especially because there's some weirdness when it because I don't think they properly separated music and music videos, and so it gets weird sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't have premium, it's even worse too.
Yeah.
Like some things you can't play or something like that. But yeah, and and now I just know Spotify so much that I can't let it go, and podcasts are there, so
Eric's been getting really into like ambient type music lately, and so even though we have the family Spotify, a lot of the stuff he's found is over on YouTube. So
he's here for the vibes only.
Yeah. Well, Eric's original, I think he's kind of a raver kid. Like his main EDM is kind of like EDM and metal. Like that's really his main. If he had to pick, he's kind of everywhere, but those are kind of his main.
Oh.
So anytime he's playing oons music, I make fun of him and say, "No, I need to go get my glow sticks."
The system is down.
The system is down. We're old.
Oh man, how old was that we just talked about? Like
Very old.
Very old. That was early 2000s.
My
Like,
best friend had.
you mean yesterday? Got it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yesterday. My best friend's brother met the guy who we're talking about Homestar Runner. If you don't know,
Homestar Runner.
And he had just started the site and had just made business cards, and so he has like an original business card.
that's
I
incredible.
bet that's like worth money.
Probably. I can't imagine. Like it can't. Like it has to be worth millions now. Not millions, but
Not millions, but a couple thou maybe.
yeah, like definitely. There's got to be someone who's like, I need that as my collection.
Totally.
I love
Yeah.
Homestar Runner.
I used to back in college and undergrad, he used to put up like pumpkin stencils every Halloween. I used to make Strong Bad.
Yeah.
Strong Bad pumpkins. Fucking love Strong Bad.
Mm-hmm.
For a moment, I was like,
Yeah.
"What the crap is a pumpkin stencil?"
Strong Bad, Strong Sad.
Got it.
Oh,
I
Teen Girl
understand now.
Squad, which
Don't.
Teen
No.
Girl Squad.
Okay, I still quote Teen Girl Squad to this day. Like
I'm in love with every boy.
My main personality cute thing in college was just quoting any YouTube video that was like cool at the time.
No, like the amount of times, like in February, where I go Valentine's time.
I still every time I go to like delete something, I'm like deleted. Emo. What?
And it's like
emo?
these sort of things that like explaining them to people who just like weren't
Oh,
in that place
Yeah.
is
It's also funny, like if I run across something that I knew was a thing, but I just never interacted with it whatsoever. So like, and I still can't get a grasp on. So like an example is Homestuck or Home.
yeah, I don't get
Whatever
the
that thing's-
Homestuck stuff, but those
Like,
girlies
but
love
the
it.
People, yeah, the people that are into that are
into it.
that. And so even when I try to figure out what on
Mhm.
earth, I'm like, I can't figure it out. But you guys have been into it for a very long time. I see that.
Yeah.
I kind of understand, I think. By the way, I reorganized my light sticks to
Nice,
feature
nice.
the mega.
Nice. Very nice.
I have all my light sticks. I just don't have anywhere to like put them
yet.
on.
You're still you're working on that. You're working on
Like,
that. It's
besides a
okay.
kitchen counter.
You'll
Some
get
boxes.
there. You'll get there. It's fine.
Actually, you saying that made me think it'd be really funny. There'd be no way to do this, but if you could, like bell choirs. But if you had like light sticks and then you turn them on.
You know what? There definitely is a way to do that. But
Yeah.
you would
That sounds
destroy
like a
the
lot
light
of
stick.
effort.
You'd have to know about electronics.
And
it would be a
probably-
very expensive proposition with all the light sticks you'd have to disassemble. It would be
Yeah.
fun.
But it would be real cool.
Well, yeah, like get the ones that like people like throw out during a concert. Just like grab all those. Have you seen them? Like people
Oh.
like buy a light stick for a concert and they'll just trash them afterwards because they don't want to bring them home on the plane.
What?
And there's like pictures
Okay,
of
I've
like
seen that with
tons.
strollers,
I did
but
not
like,
know
Yeah.
this.
wow.
People do that.
But
with
it's always the
stroller?
cheap,
They did
the,
it, like-
the really cheap,
Oh,
like
the really cheap
umbrella
umbrella
strollers.
Okay.
When you go to Florida, right, you don't want to take the whole thing. So people go, they buy the $20 umbrella stroller, and then they just ditch it in the airport when they get back, like, because they're like, I ain't taking it on the plane. And when you're in Florida, like when you're leaving Disneyland or Disney World, it's like there's like a graveyard of umbrella strollers just
Stroller
sitting in the
graveyard.
airport. It's crazy.
But light sticks, that's insane.
Light sticks are more than $20.
Especially
Yeah.
over here in the States. That's
Yeah.
absolutely bonkers to me.
Yeah.
That is, God, people have too much money.
Yeah, like
Wouldn't
I
be
don't-
me.
I will never.
Wouldn't be
You
You're
can just
probably
me.
send
20
us your
years
light
younger than me,
sticks,
too.
people.
Like,
Like,
y'all,
just
you
put
can
them
do
in
that.
the
If you don't
mail.
want them, just give them to us. We'll
Yeah,
take
right.
them.
We will take them.
I don't even care what group it is. I'll take it.
Right?
Yeah, I fucking love light
I
sticks.
can't even name one song
too.
for them. I'll still take it. I'll put up that like light stick and
I
save
think
it.
they're
and
And
really
pretty.
then if we have enough concert orphan light sticks, we can do that.
We can
project.
do this art project. Exactly.
That's our goal.
I think my mom was a part of a bell choir once upon a time.
I was. I played the high G, which was really annoying because you almost never got to go. And so then the second year they were like, "Do you want to like switch?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to play." Like, and then I hated it. I was just like, "No, I want to go back to my like." I like my bell, like going back to it. So
I always got intrigued the people that would have like multiple like. They'd switch and have all these.
Show-offs is what I call them. Tryhards.
Yeah, they could like do it without making the other one sound. I just that's magicians actually, like witches.
Witches. Sorcery.
So Katie, when you say keep bringing light sticks home from concerts, are you meaning like
you keep on buying them? You're like, I had no intention of getting this light stick.
Or are you getting orphan light sticks that people are being crazy?
I think she keeps semi-orphan ones where we like group order a light stick and then we have the light stick for a while and they were finally like, here, you can finally have it. Like I had Natalia's ATs for a very long time.
She did. Because, but now it's over there. You can't see it. It's behind my frame, but it's over there. It's happy. It's in its home. You can't.
Now
I got shit in front of
the rose.
I wish they were orphaned.
I wish, yeah.
Cheaper.
Yeah, be a little easier on the old wallet.
Well, it's also funny. So, like the most recent edition, like the rose light stick. That's a whole debacle, which Katie was also very aware of because she got the first round of the rose light stick. She was able to finally get into the website. The website was like not happy the first time. It got overloaded.
Yeah, I remember that.
She was headed to a concert with a friend, so she was able to get those ordered. I think they showed up in time. You can tell me if you guys got them in time for your concert, Katie. I don't know if you did. But then the second round, I did order it because the website was stable then because they weren't putting them in any of like the US K-pop online stores at that point. And it just didn't seem like they were going to. This is always the way it goes. Always. So like, it's like, if I don't get it now, you're not going to get it is what it feels like. So Jesse and I like hopped on that, got that. And then behold, I was like checking out Yes Asia lately. And what is there?
It was like literally within like a couple of days of like you sending or like figuring out like the shipment to my parents' house. Like it was like
typical.
Yeah, the shipping, Katie, like that helped and it did make a difference. So the S Asia price, like if you put it all together and if you're getting free shipping, which I think you automatically would, blah blah blah. Jesse and I splitting stuff, we still saved $6 a person, I think.
Yes. Hey.
Doing it the way we did.
That's like a really nice latte at a local coffee shop. With soy milk. Because they charge extra for that shit. I still feel like it's a tax on us who are allergic to milk,
especially when they put out creamers like half and halves or whatever out so people can literally pour the entire carton in and you're like, really? You can do that for free, but you can't do the soy milk?
Soy milk and milk cost the same these days.
They do. Like if you don't want to if you want it free, don't put out like actual free creamer that's out there spending hundreds of dollars a day just like being like people like pour it like out. Also like Chipotle with things.
What is Chipotle
doing? Like if you don't put like cheese and sour cream and stuff, that's like just standard part of like the toppings. Like they like won't like give you like double the veggies or something, and you're like, but you literally put more cheese, more price of cheese.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, listen, I get it on one hand. But on the other hand, if I order nachos at a store, I call them sadness nachos because they have no cheese, they have no meat because I'm vegan and allergic to dairy, and then they have no sour cream. So it's basically just salsa and chips. and you still have the gall to charge me extra for guacamole.
No, you shouldn't.
Right? No.
No.
My kids used to be really
Literally, they
picky,
will put
and
cheese, like half a bag of
I've
cheese
gone
on it.
places like,
Yeah.
you know, you go to Subway or something, and they just want a tuna sandwich, like, but nothing on it, just tuna. And, you know, and they're like, yep, okay. And then I went to like a more independent like sub shop and ordered this, and the guy looks at me and goes, nothing. And I said, yeah. He goes, okay, I can't in my heart charge you for a foot long. I will charge you for the half one, because he's like, if I'm not putting anything on it, I can't.
See, the smaller shops are good about that.
Mhm.
You know, it's the bigger ones.
Yes, you
Corporate,
can always just be like,
corporate.
well, put all the toppings on the side and then just make a salad with it.
My title was when we go out, we go to this burger place, and I used to always order my burger without onions, and I don't care now. I'll put the onions on, but he would always go, put her onions on mine because I want extra, but I don't want to pay for them.
I will say the bubble tea place I go to has free soy options.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
Nice.
which is good because I really like bubble tea.
So we have pretty much one place right now that we're getting food from. It's this little burrito shop that this lady from California runs. She's super sweet, and they make big veggie burrito thing. And so we went there yesterday. Usually we try to only do like once a week. It's this drive-through little tiny shop, and she's so nice and stuff. So we went yesterday, and we couldn't resist, so we went again today. And so we went there and we're like, hi, sorry we couldn't stay away. She's like, oh, I'm so happy you're here. I was like, oh, nice lady.
When I went to Albuquerque to visit one of my sisters, there was this bubble tea shop, and Matthew and I and my sister went to this bubble tea shop every single day that it was really good bubble tea. But also, like, by the time like that week was over, like, we had the punch cards. Like, they were like, oh, you're back. Like, we went multiple times a day. They're like, oh, you're back. And we're like,
you never showed up again.
We're like, yeah. And then we haven't been back for like 10 years. So
hope they're still there.
they
They died without you.
No way. I did go back a couple years after, and they were still there. So I don't know. Now I'm curious if they're still there.
But just the next week, they had like a weird order where they put, you know, they were ordering stuff and they ordered more of what.
Yeah.
We're gonna need more soy milk. Those people keep coming in and getting, and then they were like,
and they're like, oh, they're not coming back.
Whoops.
They're still there, baby.
Oh, good.
They're still there. I just Googled them.
Someone else like replaced you, and
yeah. I'm sure my sister still goes. Like, so yeah. That was our Spotify expose on ourselves. We hope you enjoyed hanging out with us. And then also, you know, got a little extra food talk. Always fun. Anyway, we hope you have a fantastic week. It's the middle of the week.
It's the middle
of the week.
It's not the weekend yet. I'm used to these being
so
later.
Tired already. Like, geez.
You played Christmas Tree Farm.
I did. I'm still cold. I came home, took a hot shower, used all the hot water in the house.
Really bad tomorrow. It's supposed to be like freezing rain, like starting at like 1 a.m. and just continue all day.
But when we went to this, you know, went on this field trip to this Christmas tree farm today, and that's what the teacher said. He was like, or the principal, I was talking to him before, and he goes, listen, it is supposed to be freezing rain and crap tomorrow, so we are lucky this is the day we picked. I'm like, thank you, because I would have called in sick. Like, I was not going to sit in freezing rain. No way.
It's not supposed to be too bad here, but it's supposed to snow on Friday and Saturday all day, so.
Yeah.
Jesse, do you drive to work or do you?
No, I just walk.
Don't slip. No
I know.
slipping.
Walk down a very steep incline.
Yeah.
Do you have like really grippy shoes or some spikes or
I
something?
don't know how like grippy.
Well, you're like, I'm gonna find out how grippy these shoes are. I guess.
I just like sit down and just go down.
You could take some salt, put it in front of you, like
just keep on like salting it in front of me.
Yeah.
Or find like a garbage lid and just be like, you know what? Just do it.
Yeah.
Just go. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with us. We'll be back soon.